Hello again, Jim Dowson here, your guest presenter with the daily Templar report. How are yous all? Yous keeping well? The nights are drawing in here. It's almost dark outside there. Very strange, very peculiar. Getting a bit cold again. Well, it's always cold here anyway, to be honest with you. But it's not raining, so that's a miracle. Marvellous, remarkable. And we're cracking on with the building work, so thank you. Let me see who's in the room when the brother makes the scream 450% bigger, because I can't see it. Where are you now? Oh, I can see that. Oh, dings, that's too big now. You're about 600% there. Oh, that, you can be a wee bit weird. I'm not that blind. That's it. So where have we got? Let's go up the top, see who we've got in for the beginning. Okay. Mark Anthony Smith, God bless you. How you doing? Lady Rotha, oh, how are you, Lady Rotha? Like to see you in. Ewan Eggerstrom, nice to see you. Christopher Strid, William Petit from West Virginia, God bless you, William. How you doing? Andy, how you doing, Andy? God bless you. Yeah, we're in lockdown again. Jonathan Bedeen and your good lady, God bless you, sir. Excuse me. Sean Smiley. Who else have we got? Bartley Burkar. Yep, Bartley Burkar's there. Donald Pollock, Jim Young, Burt Myers, Gary Hardwick, Philip Milne. How you doing, Philip? Naomi Ford, how are you, sister? Les Androchovich, nice to see you. Alex Catrell, nice to see you too. John Andrews, Scott Rash, how you doing, Scott? Nice to see you again. Nice to see you in. EMS Rejuvenation, Christopher. Malcolm Cook, Antonio Ribello. Oh, wait a minute. You're going too far. Ryan McGinley from Glasgow. God bless you, Ryan McGinley from Glasgow. Anthony Naziz. Robert Erickson. You're going very fast here, brother. Slow down. Yes. It's this thing. Joseph Taylor. Ken Wood. How you doing, Ken Wood? He's a pal of mine. Neville Walker. Henrik Johansson. Nixon. Nice to see you, Nick. Now what's he saying here? Oh, it's a bit of thingy. John Monkman. Kenneth Driver. Colton Strait. Who else have we got? Deshauna Hearn. Kaula. How do you say that? Kuolive. The Ulster branch. Yes. Fellow Ulster man. Yes, indeed. Bruce Samuelson. Stuart Duncan. Derek Chambers. Jacob Lewis. Malcolm Coog. Michael McGuffin. How you doing? Jonathan Bedeen, seen him, yeah, howdy. Frank Bukovitz, nice to see Frank Bukovitz. And nice to see Scott Rashan. Scott, I'll get a hold of you at some point. I'm just absolutely run off my feet at the moment, but I will get a hold of you, brother. And good to see you back in the room. You're like the prodigal son. Who else have we got? Karen and Charon, nice to see you. Martin Butler, Gary Hardwick, Sherry B. Yep, okay, scroll down a wee bit, brother. I think Tony Carmelo, God bless you, Tony. I haven't heard from you for a while. And Peter Holder, nice to see you. Yep, seen most of them. Mark, I've seen him. Jacob Lewis, yep, Angus Roxburgh, how you doing, Angus? God bless you, son. Chris White from Wales. Andy Cowley. Michael, I've seen Michael. Jay Brown, nice to see you too. Alright, listen, if I missed anybody, I'll come back and see if we can pick it up. I always miss folk, but I want to make a start. Remember, like the video. It's really, I cannot tell you how important it is to like the video, to click subscribe, to press the bell for notifications. Have you pressed the bell yet? The wee bell up here. Up, where am I? Up there. I think the bell's up there. Not sure where it is. It's here somewhere. Is it below? I don't know where it is. There's a bell. Press it and you'll be notified. And comment, please. And above everything, would you do this just for me? Share. Would everybody today please do a wee bit of work? You've watched this, take the video link, right click, copy the link, open up your emails, put in your email, and copy in all your friends. Email them links, say, have a look at this. Or put it on your social media things. Facebook, not so sure, but put it on all your other social media things and ask people to watch it and tell them it's on every night at 6 o'clock apart from a Saturday. And on a Sunday we have a service. Would you do that? Would you do that? I'm asking you. So please do it. Listen, I'm going to have a wee bit of scripture on prayers for our brother today there in Liverpool. I don't want to mention names, but he's had a bit of a rough time, and he's a good fella, one of our old security team. Prayers for him. He's a wee bit of family problem, so if you don't mind praying for him, that would be much appreciated. That would be very good ease. Difficult times we live in, I can tell you. But I want to read to you this wee bit. Now, where have I went? Where'd it go? Where is it? Here we are. It's John chapter 16. This is the words of Christ. And I'm coming on from yesterday about the Lord sending the Holy Spirit to be the comforter, because by goodness, we're going to need a comforter. So chapter 16, verse 1. These things I have spoken unto you, that ye should not be offended. They shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh, that whosoever killeth you will think that he does God's service. And these things they will do unto you, because they have not known the Father nor me, saith the Lord. Well, we know God will add his blessings to this, the public reading of his infallible, inspired and completely inerrant word. And listen, all I can say to you, try and get you ready for what's coming, as the time will come. Now, whosoever killeth you will think they do God's work. Those times are here. Now, right now. I've seen the mayor of Portland all day. Have you seen him, brother? Have you seen him? Is he that way? Possibly. He dropped all the charges against hundreds of Antifa violent rioters, looters, burners, maybe even killers. Dropped all the charges against them. What chance have you got? When you have an armed mob of rioters, looters, pillagers, rapists, murderers, killers, cutthroats, and when the police do apprehend them, the Attorney General just says, no, I agree with him, brilliant, rock on, and lets them all go. Look, folks, the only thing that keeps us from being savages the way we were maybe thousands of years ago and killing each other, and anarchy, chaos, madness, caveman days, is the rule of law. Without the rule of law, we are not a civilised people. We're not even a people. We're just a group of people who want to do what they want to do. Individuals who can do what they want to do when they want to do to whoever they want to do it. Without the rule of law, we have no society, we have no civilization without the rule of law. Sometimes the law is in our favour, sometimes it's not. But when the law is so obviously being snapped, broken, trodden underfoot, we have genuinely lost the grip of our society. And I'm going to shock some people there. That is why I do not believe in democracy. Oh, I've said it. What do you think of that, brother? He's shocked, are you? Shocked, are you? No, he's not shocked. Let me just explain that qualifier. Well, first of all, let's do a wee thing here. Put that bigger, I can't see it. Somebody's shouting at me, I can't see them. Who here, on here, right now, believes in democracy? Show of hands. Everybody. Everybody's hands up? Better they are. Better they are, because you've been conditioned. You've been conditioned to believe in something that is an unnatural state. It's a very new thing. Even up until the very early 70s, there was some people in America that still didn't have the franchise. Up until the Second World War in Britain, many people didn't have the franchise. Same in America. People are under this false, completely historically false illusion that everybody in Britain and everybody in America were Democrats and one man, one vote. That's not true. That is not true. In Britain, up until the Second World War, the mandate was spread out. There was an age barrier. I think women had to be 30. And they only had the vote about 20 years before that. But then there was an age bracket and everybody got a vote. However, if you were a landowner, you get 2 votes. If you were a business owner, not a landowner, sorry, a ratepayer, you get 2 votes. If you were a ratepayer, business owner, homeowner, you get 3 votes. So the people with the biggest stake in society had 3 votes, and normal people like me would have 1 vote. And it worked very well. But then people said that's unfair. It should be 1 man, 1 vote. Everybody should be equal. Because we've been brainwashed into thinking that. Well, there was only what percentage of the Greeks could vote? Because we take democracy from Greece. We're always saying the Greek democracy. What percentage was it? 2%? 3%? It's between 2 and 5. Certainly not over 5. But some people say 2, some people say 3, 4. Roughly, under 5% of Greeks could vote. Same with the Romans. And in Britain, up until recently, very few people could vote. Now, let's see. And do a mental calculation in your head. I want you to challenge you to do this, okay? When, in your opinion, did the West start going down the plug? I mean, really falling apart morally, spiritually, politically. When? Right, you thinking? How many years ago it was? Most Britons would say that Britain started going down the pan rapidly, probably from the beginning of the last century. So around about the 1920s, 30s, Britain just started to collapse. What happened then? Well, there was the rise of the socialist movement, and that only rose because the franchise was given to women. So women started voting, and they voted in huge numbers for the new Socialist Labour Party. And also, more and more and more working people got the vote. Now, I come from a working class family. I come from a mining family. Dirt poor. Absolutely dirt poor. But there's a lot of people in amongst my class who don't work. And I know the Americans don't like talking about class, but class is real. Class is real. Hierarchy is real. It's a natural human order. So saying we don't believe in hierarchy, you know, as Oliver Cromwell said, we're all equal before God, but some men in life are more equal than others. And that's a fact. That's the way it is. It's the way it is in your work. It's the way it is in your club. It's the way it is in every field of endeavour of human beings when we come together. There's a pecking order. Now, there's a lot of people in my class who don't work. There's people, families that I've known and still know. They are generational unemployed, welfare scroungers, spongers. And they don't work. And there's whole families in them. And they're going back now, because we've got a welfare state in Britain and a free healthcare, going back probably now 40 years, and they've never worked. So you've got grandfather never worked, father never worked, and now son doesn't work. 4 generations of people who never worked, never contributed a penny. But what they do is breed. So they tend to be the numerous people, and they are imbeciles, and they will vote whoever's going to give them the most free money. So socialists come along, like the Democrats in America or the Labour Party in Britain, and say, we'll give you free money. I will vote for you. And if you truly believe in one man, one vote and equality, well, you just suck it up then. That's how it's going to be. I do not believe in the current modern form of democracy because it's not real. It's like saying beer was beer and beer was nice, but then somebody starts making beer out of raspberries. It's not beer anymore, but we're still calling it beer. It's not. And this thing that we've got that we call democracy is not democracy. It's socialist, communist, mob rule. That's what it is. And that's why our countries are going down the pan very quickly. Very quickly. So let's have a look. Scroll up a wee bit there to see if folk were shocked at that. No? That's good. It's very good. Yeah. 1960s, yeah. Well, most people say the 1960s when we really started going down the hill, and I'll tell you why that was, if you want to know. In the 1960s, a man invented a little thing. It's the biggest destroyer. It's the destroyer of worlds. Yeah, it's certainly the destroyer of our world, and we're now living through that destruction. We're in now the final stages of the end of the beginning. We're really right into it now, and we're going to witness it. You and I are going to witness the destruction of the West, and it was caused by a tiny, small thing called the contraceptive pill. Yep. Not the communists, not the Chinese, not the nuclear bombs, not the Ebola or the COVID. The contraception pill destroyed the West. How? Well, it utterly smashed our birth rate. We can't even replace ourselves. We are going to be replaced. That's it. But it has also smashed the whole family setup instituted by God and by nature. Even if you're not a Christian, nature has a certain way of doing things. Where women would be dependent on the man, the woman would have children, therefore rendering her inert and having to be in the house with the kids, and the man went out and worked, and he was needed by the woman. And he had to be a stand-up guy and bring the money home to look after the wife, the children, and the house. When the pill came out, it meant that relationship, even in a married couple, was snapped, was broken. So you had 2 adults, a male and a female, lived in the house with no children, doing their own thing, and the divorce rate went from virtually 0 in the 1950s to, what is it now, 65-70% in the West. That's why. No kids came along, so the natural flow of love, you have that mad, crazed, passionate love when you're young, then that develops into a more need-fulfilled desire and love and trust when the kids are growing up. When the kids leave the nest, and they have their own kids, then that couple in their 50s, they become trusting partners in life partners, and it's a different form of love. So there's 3 or 4 different phases of love, but it's still love, and it's still a strong bond, and they look after their offspring's offspring, and that's how it's been since time immemorial. The pill smashed all of that. It smashed all of that, and because of that, the marriage. The actual number of marriages fell like a stone in the 1960s and 70s. females done their own thing. Most girls now who go to university don't come out into their mid-20s. They're actually getting past marrying age anyway, and they want careers. And they're financially independent. Now people say, that's a good thing. No, it's not a good thing, because that's not how society works. We must have one section of society doing some job and another section doing this. Some section of society must take the responsibility, that's the men, to make the money and be looking after, and the women being the nest makers, the home makers. And that's how every living human being has a structure. Every living creature has a structure, because God instituted it. When we go from that, everything falls apart. So now nobody's in their proper role. That's why all the gender confusion is going on. Nobody's in their proper role anymore. And let's think, has this made people happy? Are men any happier? No. 92% of all divorces are instituted by women. But does that make women any happier now? They can get rid of their men and keep the kids and keep the house, because it's always the same. Woman gets fed up with a man, throws him out. She keeps the kids, she keeps the house, and gets money. It doesn't matter how good he's been as a husband or how wicked she's been as a wife. That's what the courts do. You know that. Now, I know there's horrible cases where men are scum. Yes, but as a general rule and written in law, a man has no chance in a divorce with a kid's not. No chance. So, has this made women happy because the ball's at their feet and they've got all the power? Has it? Has it made women happy? Not a bit. Women are miserable now. Utterly miserable. Because when you're out your natural habitat, you are miserable. If you're outside something that God has made for you, you will be miserable. It doesn't matter if you've got all the legal power, you've got all the money, you've got all the education, you've got all the financial stability and independence. You'll still be miserable. And that's what we're seeing. Women are totally miserable and men are like whipped dogs. And that's what's happened to this Western society. And what we've read there in the Bible about us being killed all day long and people think they're doing a good thing. That's what's happening. People genuinely think they're doing a good thing when they attack us. I seen a woman the other day there saying when they attacked the Irish guy, Sean Ahern, she's in court today. This woman tweeted that she was outraged, shocked that she should be taken to court for punching Nazis. Everybody's a Nazi to them, of course. Ronald McDonald's a Nazi. And she would continue to do it. She's at court and she's tweeting that she's going to do it again. Because they genuinely can't understand, why can't I kill these right-wing Trumpettes and conservatives and Christians? Why? Look at these people are horrible. They need to be sorted out. Why should I be penalised? And that's where we are, folks, because we've strayed far from this. And even people who don't believe in God or who've railed against God for years, you must see now that everything you've tried is futile. You've tried the BNP, the National Front, the BNP, UKIP, the Tories, Tommy Robinson, Britain First. You've tried everything and nothing has worked. And you still resist throwing your lot in with Christ Jesus and the Holy Martyrs. For it's only when the banner of the Holy Martyrs is lifted in this country, and any country, your country, my country, anybody watching this, only when people get back to God, when they throw themselves down on their face before the cross and say, forgive me, Father, I have strayed far from the path. Only then will God lean down and lift us up and restore us. And on that day, the war banners of Jesus Christ and the holy martyrs, the millions of holy martyrs that saturated the soil across this earth with the precious blood of the saints, will be lifted up on high. Only then have we any chance of victory. And when the enemy see, when they think we've run away and we're far gone, and then the enemy hear distant drums, and over that hill you see the top of the war banners of Jesus coming, and the singing of the psalms and the hymns, as an army of militant Christians are coming to take back their country. That's the day that we will know our victory is assured. And that's the day the enemy will tremble where they stand. Because nobody can stand before the martyrs of God and the battalions of God. And I'm very glad to say that the Knights Templars, we are paramount to that, and we're in the forefront of that. And I can think of no other place to be. So if you're not a Templar at this stage in your life, you should be. I don't know why you're not. And I would like a good excuse. Because it's elementary. It's Dr. Watts. Elementary, Dr. Watts. Sherlock Holmes, isn't it? Elementary. It's elementary. What's wrong with you? Do you think something else is coming? Do you think somebody's coming to save you? Jesus will come eventually, but at this scene in time, he's using us and people like us. We need to lift the banners of Christ high. The battle is about to start, and it will be raging, and it will be hot, and many, many people will perish. But would you rather perish standing on your feet like a decent Christian patriot and dying where you stand, or skulking about on your knees like a slave, like a craven slave, being kicked from here to there when Antifa are in power? And they might be. Can you imagine it? Oh no. Rather get out in glory, in glorious victory. Even in death we have victory, because we have victory through Christ. So they cannot defeat us. They can kill us, but they cannot defeat us. And if we hold fast to that attitude and that mental opinion and that mental toughness, they cannot possibly defeat us physically. It's not possible. It's not possible. So we have to retrain our brains. This is not going to be won at the ballot box. This is not going to be won by clever speeches and rallies. No, it's way too far for that now. Either these crazy people like the Antifa people will win, or we will win. There'll be no middle ground, and there'll be no quarter given either way. That's where we are. And I hope you'd make the right decision. I know most people on here, I'm preaching at the converted, but it does you no harm now and again to be fired up again. And just remember in your mind when you're feeling down and you're feeling you've had enough of it all and you can't be bothered anymore, just remember the day when those war banners are lifted high, the blood-red war banners, and the armies of God march forward to the single drumbeat into battle and into sure and certain victory or glory. One of the two. I'll take either one. Doesn't bother me. That's where we are. And what every man's lips that day? Deus vult. God wills it. God wills it. God wills it. And never forget it. Folks, I need to show you some stuff today. Let me see now. What was I going to do? Oh, I want to show you this rock. Who's this? James Collins Island. In Ireland we have punched... Right. Well, James, it's not for me publicly to condone such actions. However, what do you drink? Yeah, I know the Irish have been getting wired in. And do you know what? I was waiting for it. I thought, how long are the Irish going to take this nonsense? They have to fight the Irish. I knew Antifa were going to come unstuck at some point with the Irish. And it's good to see young Irishmen stand up. And by the way, I've heard some of them aren't even political. They're just had enough of these bullies going out bullying people. So they've had a taste of their own medicine. And I salute my Irish comrades. Well done, lads. And that's the way it is. So... beer? Ach man, what kind of Irishman are you? A name like Collins as well and you're drinking beer. Drinking an Englishman's tipple. That's a good black bush you need, or powers, that's what you need there. But I'll meet up with you one day, and if I ever bump into you, I don't know who you are, please introduce yourself to me. I'd like to meet you. Now, I want to show you some pictures of stones. Stones, aye, I know. Wait till I show you. Where is that stone? Right, have we got it? I've been doing a bit of archaeology today, people. Yes. Is that picture up? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right, do you see this stone here down the ditch? So we're digging round the chapel to put the damp proofing, the deep, I'll use a technical term, the DPC, which for the uninitiated is the damp proof course. You see? I better dab hand at this. So we're pulling down the back wall, because remember, what we didn't explain to you folks is this building, the chapter house, it's got a big wall there, but we're going both sides of it. So we're going to come, so the wall's there. We're coming down the other side of it. So we're punching a big hole there. We're putting a Gothic door through there, down in the other side. So it's going to be quite a big place. But, oh, sorry, you're not showing that picture now. You're on the stone now. Ah, right, okay, forget that. I'm on the stone now, right. So we've dug this big ditch for the DPC. And when we dug down, about 2 feet, we came across this enormous stone. But it's a dress stone. Now, it's definitely not from the priory. The old abbey, sorry. It's not from the Cistercian monastery or abbey. Now, what this has been laid there, and if you can't see, but just in the foreground here, there's another big flat slab, so we can tell that was been the floor level. And we've done some archaeology research, and the depth that's down, that is the floor depth around about 1600. That is the floor, the yard depth, about 1600. So, before the Mayflower set sail to America, before all of these things happened, round about, and we know from historical records that the priory house itself this priory house here was built in about 1620 as people came in from Scotland, the plantation which has caused so much bother over the years. But It is what it is. But those stones were laid down about 1620. That's 400 years exactly. And we've found the base of the yard and that big stone. What that big stone's been is one of the steps going up. And it's been big steps. There's quite a lot of them around these parts, but there's not as many as used to be because they've mainly been knocked down. But that is the original stepping stone to the building, probably laid down when the people arrived here, 1620. So 400 years, maybe even this day, that stone was put down. It's incredible, isn't it? Really, well, I find it incredible. It's just like archaeology. So 400 years ago, before the Mayflower, before all of that, that stone was laid down there. It's quite incredible. And the building itself is built of stones made out of the Cistercian monastery. It blows my mind. And when I touch these stones, I think, wow, 1,000 years ago, monks were chanting and all that. Templars would have been in that place, make no mistake about it. There's a lot of famous Templars came from this part of the world. They'd have been in that building praying. Nice Templars. Going to the Crusades. Incredible. I just find it incredible. Anyway, this is the other picture. Is that up now? Yep. So that's the dividing wall. The church is there at the left. This big wall, we're looking at it from this side of the chapter house. We're putting a big Gothic door through down on the other side, and then we'll run a roof off that. So it's going to be a big building split in the middle with a 400-year-old wall with a big Gothic door in it. Two parts. We're going to have a private meeting place. As your relatives come and want to see your remains and things like that, they can sit in the private part. Beautiful big table. They can get out the big books, open it up, and find your name. And again, when we release this, you're going to be given the opportunity for 500 or 600 words to be pasted into the book so that your ancestors can read your words designed for them to read down through the mists of time. So in centuries' time, they'll read that. That will be kept in a big fireproof safe. So doesn't matter what happens, that should survive. So in 200 or 300 years' time, your ancestors can come here, open that big book in that little chapter house, which will be very old by then, and open it up and read about your life and a message, a personal message you're sending them down through the centuries. That, my friends, blows my mind. And I think it's the most important thing I've ever been involved in. And you know me, I've ran military supplies into Kosovo and done all sorts of stuff that, well, it's debatable. Military supplies, but not guns, nothing illegal. Because we know people are watching. But to me, this is the most important thing I've ever been involved in my life. Because this will reverberate down through the ages. And imagine we have got the opportunity to be involved in such a thing. It's incredible. I just can't believe it. So again, anybody can help, please do. And next week we're going to release the things for after we're past this scene of time, but we'll get back to that. So I want to, I haven't even read this. I've got 2 stories here and I haven't read any of them. So I'll maybe keep these for tomorrow because time's wearing on because we went into a bit of a rant there. I don't know what happened there, brother. What happened? Totally off script. Here is the script here, folks. I haven't even went near the script. What's going on? Oh, sometimes I just feel close to you and I just want to talk to you as if I'm talking to you at the fireside because I live in Ireland and you know, I'm an Ulster Scot, an Irish Scot, and I sit at the side of my fire and we yabble through the night with people. That's how we do things in this part of the world. We like talking to people, and I like talking to you. But I will bring to your attention just this. Ruth Ginsburg is dead. And like all people, we are born, and we live, we laugh, we cry, and then we die. So the Father gives us, and the Father then taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Amen. So Ruth Ginsburg, what's her name? Ginsburg. Ginsburg. You know who I'm talking about? And I have to be careful here. Yeah. Well, you know, my old granny was an old Irish Presbyterian woman. And she's very strict and very old school. And I remember somebody had died that none of us liked, politician, I won't mention any names, and I was dancing up and down about this, and she hit me a clatter right round the head. And she said, you never mock the dead or say anything bad about the dead, because the dead are now God's business, his business. You've no right. And I said, fair enough. I said, if you've nothing good to say about the person, don't say anything. So regarding Ruth Ginsburg being dead, well, that's probably all from me, because I can't think nothing good to say about the woman at all. The only thing I would say that she's now standing before God in the judgment seat, and all I can say is may God have mercy upon her wretched black soul. Amen. That's all I can say about that. So tomorrow I'll be back here. The techie guy's coming back, not tomorrow, but the next day. So it'll probably just be me again, but maybe on Thursday we'll bring a guest in. Who would like? Well, we've got a choice now, you see, these days. We can bring in Nick Griffin, or we can bring in Jada Franson. Can we have a poll? Do we want Jada, or do we want Nick? Battle. Beauty or the Beast? Who do you want? Beauty or the Beast? I'll let you decide. We'll have a wee count up later and see. But Thursday we'll have a guest on. Tomorrow it'll just be me. Sorry I didn't get through these, but I think we get sidetracked in a good way today. And sometimes that happens. I hope nobody bothered or nobody was upset that we veered off the script. So I'll keep these for tomorrow because they're good stories. And thank you, brother. He wrote them. So your work is not in vain. I will do these tomorrow and we'll see how we go on with that. Well, that's all from me right now. God bless each and every one of these. As usual, we've got a new stock of Bibles in. If you need Bibles, please get Bibles. You know where they are. You know where everything is. And I'll see you tomorrow if the good Lord preserves me. I cannot wait to get out there tomorrow. The construction guys have left. I'll be out there tomorrow. We're bringing a digger in to dig the foundations out round the back. I cannot wait to see what's there. Because every time we pull something off or dig up something here, we're finding something. And I'm really excited because I've got a confession to make. When I was a wee boy, I wanted to be an archaeologist. And, you know, I'm fascinated by these things under the ground. I've been walking on there for years. I never knew that stuff was under the ground. That hidden history from 400 years ago. Maybe the man that laid that stone went to the New World. There's maybe a million of his family now in America. Who knows? His prodigies might have been at the Alamo. They might have been fighting the British in the Revolutionary War. I don't know. But I know it's fascinating and incredible, and it's a part of reaching back into time to our people. And remember, a lot of people from this part of the world, one of the biggest waves of immigration was from the north of Ireland. The Presbyterians fleeing to America around about the 1700s. 300,000 people went. So that's millions, tens of millions now in America. So who knows? If you've got Scotch-Irish in you, your family may be the ones that laid that stone or sat in that building and drank some whiskey. Who knows? Because this is a good whiskey making place. We had the big whiskey plant here until it shut down and was bought over by a multinational, no doubt, and closed down. The usual stuff, production away to somewhere else, some factory somewhere else. But that's the story of the West, isn't it? It's a story of us all. Who doesn't remember the days when your town made stuff? Whose town makes stuff now? Very few. Well, that's all from me. God bless each and every one of you. I'll see you tomorrow if the good Lord's preserve me. And remember, until then, stick close to God. You won't go far wrong. Deus Vult.